Kuf test today.
Like that guy?
All right, so we are starting. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Yes. All right, Reb Menachem is here. We can start. Hello, look in here for a second. Okay. So we're holding Daf Kuf Ches on the Beis. We're actually holding Daf Kuf Test, but we're going to go backwards a little bit because of the sugya of Tipas Chalav. Today we're going to finish the sugya by the Mishnah, and then it gets a lot easier. So just to review, let's go over the sugya real quickly. Okay? Ve'efshal esochtoi, what is it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, because not everybody had surgery, so it's not a big deal.
Is it true though if you lose weight?
You see it, him and Ehrenfeld.
Myself, I lost 13 kilos and all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. These guys, look at him. He's wearing a sweater and a coat and a scarf, and he wants to eat on.
But it is cold.
No, I don't know. All right, you guys ready? It's a very simple sugya. Now, here's the concept. Because ma?
I know.
I hear him running. I hear somebody. Oh, here he is. Okay, very good. You couldn't get it.
Time to write us maybe a message in the morning.
Okay.
But to make coffee?
Efshal esochtoi. Efshal esochtoi. We're learning about the sugya of Efshal esochtoi. What does that mean? We're holding Daf Kuf Tes again. For all those, sorry for the thing. We're holding Daf Kuf Tes Amud Aleph, but we're going to go back to Daf Kuf Ches Amud Beis just to, because we stopped in the middle of a sugya. We said how Rebbe likes Rebbe Yehuda, and now we're holding how Rebbe likes Rabbanan, and now we're just going to go back and understand what's going on, so we understand a little bit more, as much as we can. There's a concept. Efshar lesochto. If can you squeeze an isser out of a piece of food? If a piece of food becomes usser because it's basar b'chalav, can you later on go into that piece and rectify it? Be mevashal it, squeeze out physically the whole isser, and then say, oh, the meat is back to where it went to.
You're squeezing out the color.
Screw it, yeah, you're squeezing out the milk out of the meat, let's say.
Squeezing out the tongue.
Exactly. That's the whole thing you're squeezing out. You squeeze out all of the flavor, where you take it to a lab and the scientist looks at it and he says, there's not a single molecule of milk in this meat. So is it mutter or asr? If you say that the piece became an avela, so halachically it's an avela, and you cannot squeeze an avela out of an avela, it doesn't matter what the scientist tells you, at the end of the day, this is asr. And if you say efshal sachtei mutter, so you say that this chaticha, or not because of you say this chaticha is not an avela, and therefore since it's not an avela, I could squeeze out the isser. If I'm mevashal the isser out, and there's not a single drop of milk left, it's mutter. So now the Gemara wants to say,
it's cold.
mevashal, I boil it out, I cook it out.
But if you boiled it into the meat, why doesn't? So theoretically, there should be no way to rectify it.
Why?
You've cooked the meat and the milk together. Now it's basar b'chalav.
But there is no chalav. Physically, there's no chalav.
There was at one point.
There was at one point. That's what Rebbe Yehuda says, and maybe Chacham say that it doesn't matter at one point. Right now, there isn't. The issue is that it should, when you eat it, there shouldn't be basar chalav. Right now, when I'm eating, it's only basar. They say no. Rebbe Yehuda says no. You hold like Rebbe Yehuda? Very good. Okay. We have Hillel holds like Rebbe Yehuda. Okay. No, you're saying it makes more sense.
But I'm saying a bittul. What are we saying? That we say
not a bittul. Not a bittul. I'm squeezing out the isser. I took out the isser. There is no isser anymore. If I have a pot with a piece of treif and a piece of nut, I take out the treif. Now I have the kosher meat left. That's what I had. A basar, I had a chalav. One is black, one is white. One is red and one is white. I took the white out, and now I'm left with red meat. What's the problem?
If it was cold, then maybe
I don't care cold. It's not in there. There's not a single molecule left. The scientist says there's not a single molecule. There's not a flavor in there. Nothing.
Is that the reason for the unusual expression of calling it nevela?
Why?
Because nevela, you can't undo a nevela.
Yeah, that's the point. Nasas nevela becomes a nevela. We're not talking about nevela, we're talking about basar b'chalav. The point is, just like you cannot squeeze a nevela out of a nevela, it is a nevela. That's what, right, that's what, so they go hand in hand. Nasas nevela, efshal sachtei. Efshal sachtei aser. Now let's see inside.
Oh, it's cold.
So let me just give you a real quick.
So go make coffee.
Go drink a little coffee.
Looks like my car.
The problem is you're not
It's also
learning.
cold.
If you would be learning Torah, you'd be warm. That's the problem. So what the Gemara is going to start off saying, I'm just giving you a little overview. The Gemara is going to start saying that there's a machlokes tanoim. The day before, on Thursday, we said there's a machlokes amoraim. Now we're going to say there's a machlokes tanoim, the same exact machlokes of efshel sochtei mutter or efshel sochtei aser. Then the Gemara says, wait a minute, maybe that's not the machlokes. Maybe the machlokes is if min b'minoi batal or min b'minoi loy batal, just to confuse you, just to say more concepts so you think it's cool. And then the Gemara goes back and says, no, that's actually the machlokes here. Efshel sochtei mutter, efshel sochtei aser. Okay? Now let's see. What? If you do the 8-minute video, you just jump to the end. That's how it works. But now we're doing Daf Yomi, we're doing it inside.
I watched 8 minutes. No. I watched it on Friday.
That's the whole problem. People like you ruin the 8-minute video. Says the Gemara inside. What is it? 12 lines from the bottom of Daf Kuf Ches. We're just going to go quickly because we learned this on Friday. Thank you. You want to come up here? And this question, whether you could squeeze out an isser from a piece of basar v'cholav, is a machlokes tanoim. This sanya, tipas cholav shenoflo ala chaticha. Right? This is the whole name of the sugya, tipas cholav, and that's what it's called in Israel, tipat chalav. When you have a baby, you go to a place called tipat chalav, and they give you injections and also bar bezer Hashem one day. Tipat chalav, taken from this sugya, maybe I don't know. Tipas cholav shenoflo ala chaticha. If one drop of milk fell on a piece of meat, remember the piece of meat? Mm-hmm. The piece of meat is protruding outside of the pot. You have a chullin pot, and there's a nice piece of meat on top of the chullin pot sticking out. It's not part of the chullin. According to Tosfos, it's sticking out completely. It's like this. It's not even touching the gravy inside. According to Rashi, it's sticking out a little bit. It's like this.
I
Okay?
have no idea what you're talking about.
What?
Why is no pictures?
There is on the 8-minute video. Go Ayin Sham. So if a drop of milk fell onto this one piece, what's the question, Rabbi Isai? Are we contending with the entire pot of chont? Is that one drop of milk fighting, trying to impart flavor into a whole pot of chont, and therefore you're going to need a lot more milk to do the job to make it aser? Or no, it's only fighting against one little piece of meat that's sticking outside of the pot. That's a different question. It's not a piece of milk that fell into a pot. It's a drop of milk that fell into one piece that's in a pot.
Language is confusing because the implication is that because in fact
Gershon, since he's sitting next to me.
the single the piece sticking out, that's actually a chumrah because it needs much more to be mevatel. Much less milk to make it aser. It needs a lot less milk to make it aser.
It's cold. Is that a problem?
It's gewaldig. I'm so hot. It's crazy. I'm not joking. You want my jacket?
In other words, if you look at the whole pot, right, you have a certain amount of milk.
Yeah.
Right. If you have a whole pot,
It will do nothing.
it will be very quickly mevatel.
Right. And if you
one piece of meat. So
exactly,
that's
that's the whole thing. Yeah. It's not a chumrah. It's a fact. The fact is that where did the meat? If you when you do these, you do a test. Somebody has a disease, you drink this liquid and then you take an x-ray and you see where the liquid goes, right? So if you did one of those tests on this piece of meat, you'll see the milk go into the piece of meat and stop short. It doesn't go into the rest of the chont. It just stops. If you stir it, then it starts spreading. Then you'll see little white going everywhere. But if you have a piece of meat on top of the pot like this, and then the milk goes into that piece of meat, it doesn't penetrate into the rest of the meat. That's what the Gemara is understanding here. Says the Gemara, once it imparts flavor into this piece of meat, then the whole piece becomes a shtik nevela, meaning it becomes aser, be'isr, basar, b'chalav. Now you have a piece of nevela, a piece of basar, b'chalav sitting on top of your chont. So the rest of the chont becomes aser because the rest of the chont touched the rest of the one piece that's aser. Because all the pieces in the chont are the same family as that one piece. And what's the halacha when one piece min b'minoi ein mevatel? You can't be mevatel according to who? According to Rabbi Yehuda. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. V'chachamim moimrim ad shetitin tam beroitev u'bakibo v'chatichos. Say chachamim, no. This milk is contending with the entire pot. We don't view it as one little piece. It's the whole pot.
Maybe the boss says maybe you can take the piece out.
Your Daf saves you.
If you take the piece out, then the rest
Yeah,
is okay.
exactly. Why could you take
Not that you
the?
mix that piece back into the pot.
Okay, so that's here. Let's go back there. Omar Rebbe, Nirin Divrei Rebbe Yehuda b'Shaloi Nir. Now he comes comes Rebbe, and says, I agree to Rebbe Yehuda on one thing. I agree to Chacham on another thing. I agree with Rebbe Yehuda b'Shaloi Nir b'Shaloi Kisa, when he didn't stir the pot, or he didn't cover the pot, because they accomplish the same thing. When you cover a pot, the steam and everything, it boils up, and the flavor gets to the whole thing. V'divrei Chachamim, and I agree to Chachamim, b'shenir v'kisa, when he stirred the pot and he covered the pot. Now, the Gemara is going to explain what it means, because right now it doesn't mean anything. Ma'iloi nir v'loi kisa, ilei meloi nir kla v'loi kisa kla. Let's say he didn't stir the pot at all. Mivla bola, mifla loi polat. So I'm sorry, it's not a question. It's just a statement. Mivla bola, miflat loy polat. If he didn't stir the pot, then you could just remove the piece of meat on the top because it absorbed the milk. It didn't give milk to the rest of the pot. Nothing happened here. Ve'elo, so you must say loynir batchila elo basoif. Ve'leikisa batchila basoif. So what happened was, Rebbe, agreed to Rebbe Yehuda that he stirred the pot at the end. He stirred the pot at the end, and Memela, what? Hold on. Right. So Memela, Rabbi Yehuda says, becomes the one piece becomes the nevela. Then I stir it at the end. Now my whole pot becomes also because I stirred the nevela into my pot. Okay.
There's no other way that he stirred it before the milk hit the thing, that it should...
Then it should be bottled right away. Right, that's what he's saying. He'll actually say that. The Gemara will say that.
It hasn't been stirred yet.
No, we're going to get there. That we said on Friday. Top of Daf Kuf Tesam Dalv. Hold on. Ve'lo nir b'tchila elo b'soif. Ve'lo kiz b'tchila b'soif. Amai hobola v'hopolat. So now the question is, the piece of meat that you stirred into the pot eventually, 10 minutes later you stirred into the pot, but that piece of meat got some milk in it. Okay, who cares if it got some milk in it? I boiled the milk out. Where did the milk go eventually? The milk went eventually out of the piece. In order for that piece to answer the rest of the pot, it had to come out of my piece. So if it came out of my piece, then my piece doesn't have milk anymore, so it should become mutter.
Yeah, the piece was already bad.
Oh! So I have to say that since the piece was already bad, kosavar efshal esachtoi asur. Okay? So Rabbi Yehuda holds that the piece is bad. Once it's bad, I can't undo the badness. It remains bad forever.
The whole piece remains.
That piece becomes asur, becomes a piece in the vela, becomes a bas b'chalav, and therefore I cannot flip it into something that's mutter. So even though the milk leaves it and goes into the rest of the pot. Okay, and now we're holding on today's daf.
Efshal means, Osha, that even though you think you could squeeze it, even though it's still also.
Even though, right. Ve'efshal sechta, even if you think that you could squeeze it out, it's not going to help you. However, says the Gemara, that is Rebbe talking, and he says, I like Rebbe Yehuda in this and this. But Rebbe Yehuda himself doesn't agree with Rebbe. Michlal de Rebbe Yehuda savar, kinir mitchila v'atzoif, v'kiso mitchila v'atzoif, asur. Rebbe holds that even if I stir it in the beginning, it's asur. Now, what's the question? Mr. Kornwald just said that if I stir it in the beginning, everybody should hold that nothing happened. As the milk fell into the chunt, it became bottled in a million. The chunt is a lot more than one drop of milk. So then why does Rabbi Yehuda say it's asur?
Because the milk fell on that piece of meat. That piece
No, but it had no chance. It fell into a piece.
The meat was hot, right?
No. Time out. No,
you're
you're dealing with the whole pot of chunt.
Okay.
How many drops of milk are there in a pot of chunt?
Okay, but it's outside the chunt. It's not inside the chunt. It's sitting in
No.
So
But we're talking about near. He's stirring.
Afterwards, he's
No, near betchila. No.
That's still a second before he was
Time out. No. Again. Michlal, let's read the words inside. Michlal the Rebbe the Savar, kinir mitchila. Immediately, as the milk fell in, he was stirring, so the milk never attacked one piece. The milk attacked the whole entire chunt because he's stirring.
What does it say?
No.
Nafal chaticha means it didn't fall into
Right.
the water. It fell onto that chaticha.
But there's two parts of
So
it.
that chaticha already
No,
became
no,
also
there's two
anyway
parts. There's two
Mara.
parts. Rebbe says, I agree to Rabbi Yehuda when there's no stirring. But if there's stirring, they also say that. It doesn't say it in there. You're right. Chaticha is one case, and now we're talking about even in the case with the stirring. There's no bli at all. So over here the Gemara comes with the chiddush. You're right. It shouldn't be asur. The reason why it's asur is because a gzeira. I'm worried he's not stirring. Maybe that's what you were saying, Hill. Maybe it did attack one piece because the stirring wasn't a good stirring. And because of that gzeira, and Rebbe says no, there is no gzeira. I don't care about gzeira. Rebbe says, at the end of the day, if you're stirring, it's mivatal. Okay. So what do we have over here? Right now we have a shita of Rabbi Yehuda. He says, I like Rabbi Yehuda when they stirred it at the end. And they hold, Efshel L'Sachtei Asur. All we're trying to prove is that there's a machlokes between Efshel L'Sachtei Asur and Efshel L'Sachtei Mutar. So right now we have Rabbi Yehuda says Efshel L'Sachtei Asur, and Chacham are going to say Efshel L'Sachtei Mutar, and that's all the Gemara wants to say. That there's a machlokes Tanoim, Rabbi Yehuda was a Tana, and Rabban were Tanoim. There's a machlokes Efshel L'Sachtei Asur and Mutar. So when I mix it all the way at the end, why doesn't it become mutter? The answer is it doesn't become mutter because after the sachtei asur, once it becomes asur, then I can't squeeze it out. It doesn't help me to boil it into the rest of the pot of the chon. So here we have a sheet that says after the sachtei asur. Why? Because chaticha nas and avela. It's geschmack. A lot of concepts here. You never knew these concepts. You'll never know them until you learn Daf Yomi Chullin. Because the piece becomes an avela, I hold min b'minoi loy batal. Right? So this piece of meat that became an avela falls into the rest of the chon. The rest of the chon is the same min. It's the same type. One piece of meat could ruin a million pieces of meat. A million pieces of meat don't have the power to be mevatel that one piece.
So are we saying that these three things are one shita? In other words, if you say Efshel L'Sachtei, then you must hold.
No, not really. No, well, not really. These two go together. Chaticha nas and avela and Efshel L'Sachtei asur is one. It just so happens to be that Rabbi Yehuda in the entire Shas holds min b'minoi loy batal, and Chacham in the entire Shas hold min b'minoi batal, and that this has nothing to do with each other. Okay. Now we're going to the next shita. Says Gemara, Omar Mar. We said before, v'divrei Chachamim k'shenir v'kisa, and Rebbe likes and he enjoys Chachamim shita when he stirred it and he covered it. My nir v'kisa. Let's just understand the simple words. Ilay manir basoif v'lo betchila. If it's talking about that he likes Chachamim when he stirred the pot at the end, and what do Chachamim say? You're contending with the whole pot. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. That's the exact case that you just said that you like Rabbi Yehuda when he all the way at the end. Remember? Here. If you don't believe me, Rabbi Yehuda near Basoiv. It's talking about that he stirred it at the end. So you can't say, Chachamim when he stirred it at the end. I like Chachamim stirring at the end. No, he likes Rabbi Yehuda when he stirred it at the end. He likes Chachamim when he stirred it in the beginning. The only way to like Chachamim is when it's the case. Okay, so what's the case? Elanir b'tchilat soif, v'kisa b'tchilat soif. Yeah, there's a mistake there. There's an extra minute because I did it Erev Shabbos 2 minutes before Shkia. Elanir b'tchilat soif, v'kisa b'tchilat soif. That's what you're talking about? Because it was the video of, you'll see it's the same exact amount of time as the video from the day before. Because the Refuah Shlema went at 9:17 and Memela, it's a big fashla. Okay, not a big deal. So what are you talking about? Ella, let's see inside. Ella near mitchila v'atsoif, v'kisa mitchila v'atsoif. It's talking about the case where he stirred the pot in the beginning. And so what if he stirred the pot in the beginning? That's why Rebbe likes him. And he says, if you stir the pot in the beginning, I hold it's mutter. Everything's mutter. Not like Rabbi Yehuda just said that it's usher. Why? Because of Xera, maybe he didn't stir it. Well, I like Rabbanan. If you stir it in the beginning, it's okay. Bichlal, but Rabbanan themselves, the Rabbanan say near basoif, v'lenir betchila, kisa basoif, v'lekisa betchila, mutter. I only like Rabbanan in the beginning, but Rabbanan themselves hold that, and this is his point, Rabbanan are going to hold that if you stir it all the way at the end, you take a piece of meat that's no good, it's treif. Why is it treif? Because it's bas b'chalav. You put it in a pot, and you stir it up with the rest of the meat, then that piece of meat becomes mutter. Why? Because if I could squeeze out the iser, mutter. So here I have another sheet that says efshel l'sachtai mutter, and before we add a sheet that says efshel l'sachtai aser, machlokes tanaim. Amakosavri efshel l'sachtai mutter. Okay, so back in the chart, the Matzah Shabbos chart, Rabbanan say that he stirred it from beginning to end, and they hold efshel l'sachtai mutter. So even if you put the meat all the way at the end, if you stir it all the way at the end, it's mutter. And they also hold ein chaticha nasel levela and min b'minoi loy batel. This is just random things, but it happens to be this is what they hold. But for us, for our sugyas, the bottom line is review the holds efshel l'sachtai aser, Rabbanan hold efshel l'sachtai mutter, machlokes. It happens to be that they hold that. Now, ask the Gemara, who told you that that's what Rabbanan don't talk about anything about near, not near. They just say that if a piece of milk touched a piece of meat, you contend with the whole parachont. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you contend just with the piece of meat. Who told you that it's a machlokes of efshel l'sachtai? Who convinced you? Maybe the machlokes is this machlokes. Where am I? No, this machlokes. Just a simple machlokes in Shas of min b'minui batel loy batel. Yeah? Nothing to do. You see, I took out efshel l'sachtai. Oh, maybe I didn't. Efshel l'sachtai aser, efshel l'sachtai aser. Maybe everybody holds aser. Who told you that there's a machlokes in efshel l'sachtai? Maybe it's just a simple. The Brisa doesn't say, oh, because Chacham hold efshel l'sachtai mutter. You stuck that in. Maybe the reason why Rabbanan hold that if a piece of milk falls into patted shont and a piece is sticking outside is because all they're talking about is that piece later on goes into the patted shont, reviewing the piece itself. That piece becomes batel in the rest of the shont. Why? Because min b'minoi batel. And Rabbi Yehuda holds min b'minoi loy batel. The famous old machlokes of Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanan, whether one type of food could be mevatel the same type of food, batel loy batel, and that's the whole shaila in the shont. By the way, we're going to switch now from the drop of milk to the whole piece, just for this part. Who told you, the whole sugya is assuming that there's a machlokes of efshel l'sachtai, if you're allowed to squeeze out of isser or not. Who told you that's the shaila? Dilma efshel l'sachtai divrei hakol aser. Maybe everybody holds efshel l'sachtai aser. Maybe it's just a question of the old question of min b'minoi batel or batel. Since I have a piece of meat, could I be mevatel that same piece of meat with other like type pieces of meat? Very Rabbi Yehuda, and so now we're switching for a second. It's not a big deal, don't get confused, but we're going from the Bryce that talks about a drop of milk that hit a piece of meat. Now that piece of meat, could I be mevatel that piece of meat and the rest of the meat? Okay, we're not talking about the piece of, we're not talking about the drop of milk becoming batel. We're talking about the piece of meat becoming batel. That's why that piece of meat that hit the drop of milk, it's going to go back into the chont and ruin the rest of the chont. And Rabbanan will say that piece of meat, yes, you're right, it became aser, but it can't do anything to the rest of the meat, to the rest of the chont, because the rest of the chont is going to be mevatel it. It's min b'minoi batel.
They still hold it in the Vega.
I don't know. I think even at the because efshel l'sachtai aser, so it's going to be nevela l'chayr. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I had a little bit of a debate here. I don't know. Menachem, what are you taina? That piece of meat, according to this Gemara right now, that piece, the original piece of meat that hit the milk hit it. Rabbanan say min b'minoi batel.
If you can't recognize it, it's batel.
If you can't recognize it, but if you can't, you could recognize it, so it's going to be it's both. Yeah, but efshel l'sachtai aser, so it can never, you can never remove the isser from it. But it's batel how?
It's batel. It's maybe midnight batel. It's batel on the whole pot.
Well, no,
The whole pot
Maybe
is
saying that the pot is
what?
the
It definitely had a shas isser, and then it became batel afterwards.
That's all.
question is meat shishim more than 1/60 of the rest of the meat.
Yeah. That you have to say. It's 60. The potted chont is 60 times more of that. Otherwise, you don't have the batel. We're talking about could you be mevatel with the 60? Yeah, it has to be 60. Rabbi Yehuda says even a million and not. Forget about 60. Okay. So now here just comes one little twist before one last geschmacka thing that you have to put your head together, and then we're going to go to the easy stuff. Hi, Mike. So now I'll say it outside. It's actually very simple. If you're telling me that the machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon is whether min b'minoi batal or not batal, yeah, Gary, I'm warning you. If you want to understand this, you got to pay attention. 100. Forget the coffee. Yeah, you're right. He needs to be warned.
I'm with you.
Okay, I'm just going to take a drink. So.
Ask him for another cup for the rest of your feet.
All right, very simple, Rabbi Say.
Pay attention, everyone.
If the machlokes is min b'minoi batal batal, it comes out of a very interesting thing that Rebbe doesn't agree to Chachamim in anything. They can't agree on anything. Why? Because the first piece, according to Chachamim, Rashi says, is going to be Asur. Why? According to Rabbanon, it's going to be Asur because of the same Gzeira that Rabbi Yehuda has. Because now Rabbanon agreed to Rabbi Yehuda on everything. They only argue on one thing, min b'minoi batal, or loy batal. So Rabbi Yehuda says that the first piece of meat, not Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda says the first piece of meat is Asur, even if you stirred it the whole time, because maybe you didn't stir it well. So the first piece is Asur. Rebbe argues with that. So on one piece of meat, piece number one, Rebbe doesn't agree with Chachamim. All the other pieces of meat, Rebbe also doesn't agree with Rabbanon. Because all the other
difference between the pieces.
Right?
The first and the second and third.
The rest of the piece of meat, according to Chachamim, are mutter. According to Rebbe Yehuda, it's Asur. According to Rebbe, it's Asur. So then how in the world could Rebbe say, I agree to Rabbanon in this, and I agree to Rebbe Yehuda in that? He doesn't agree with Chachamim in anything. So what should he say? He should say very simple. I agree with Rebbe Yehuda when he didn't mix it, and I don't agree with Rebbe Yehuda when they did mix it. Because when they did mix it, it becomes bottle right away, and there's no gzeris. I don't hold the gzeris, and Rebbe Yehuda holds the gzeris. But I agree with Rebbe Yehuda when they didn't mix it, and everything became asur. Why is he mentioning Chachamim? That's all. That's the hard part here in the sugya. Let's see it inside, and then the sugya is over. 5 lines. Hi, Mai. Then we're going to the udder of an animal. Geshmak is sugyas. The udder with milk is a bas b'chalav, not bas b'chalav. Geshmak. Hi, Mai. If you say that there's no machlokes in bimimino and everybody holds that bimimino is asur and doesn't become batal, and what's the machlokes like we wanted to say initially, that the machlokes is whether or not you could squeeze out an isser from the meat. I agree, then it makes a lot of sense. Rebbe says, I like Rabbi Yehuda when he didn't mix it, and I like Rabbi Chachamim when he did mix it. But if you're going to tell me that everybody agrees that Evshel Sochta is Asur, what's the machlokes, whether or not you're saying min b'mino is batal or not batal? So all he should have said is, I agree to Rabbi Yehuda when he didn't mix it, and I don't agree with him when he mixed it. And there's no argument anymore in the sugya. Obviously, there's a machlokes tanoim if efshel sochta muter or asur. And now we are going on to the next sugya. Yeah, anybody have questions in the sugya? Yeah, it's good.
This is what cancels the sheet of what was it? Rav Midifni? That the machlokes has to be that efshel sochta.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Rebbe says nir divrei chachamim, but he doesn't agree to chachamim in anything. In both cases, if on the chaticha rishona, chachamim are going to say, according to Rashi at least, that piece is also because of Gzeira. Rebbe argues with them, so you can't agree with that. On the rest of the chatichos, chachamim say that they're all mutter. Rebbe holds they're all awesome. So he doesn't agree with anything. So why are you mentioning chachamim? Just say I agree on loy nir, like Rebbe Yehuda, and I don't agree with nir. Fine. Says the Mishnah.
So the Gemara is passing that the machlokes has the Gabi.
Well, if you want to see what the Gemara passing, there's a giant Rashi here. If we paskin of min b'minoi, this, not, it's machlokes rishonim how we paskin min b'minoi. What?
So min b'minoi is anyway, it's separate machlokes. The
Right.
question is this the shayla or not?
Right, but that's not a psak. Just, this is the shayla. Efshel sochta muter or asur. Hakachal. I don't know, whoever was here for the shechita, he did a wonderful job with the kachal. He pulled it out and he showed us, here's where the milk goes and here where it doesn't, the v'chulu.
You even smelled it for us.
Yeah, and he said that she never gave birth. She never had
No, it said
babies.
for a long time she didn't have. That's
That was a very young one.
No, it said
It was only 2 years old. So it says
never.
she never had from the smell.
He did say this.
Hakachal, koiroi, umoitzi is. I'm excited because I'm not the only one you don't listen to 100%. Hakachal koiroi umoitzi is chalavoi. What? Why chelboy? It's chalavoi. It's the milk. Chelboy is chalav, no? Chalavoi. That's why I have nekudas. I have nekudas.
I don't.
Anyways, if you want to eat the udder, all you do is you cut it open. The Gemara is going to explain how. Shesiver, if not shesiver, and you squeeze the milk out. You make sure there's no milk in there.
And let's say you have cheese.
Hold
together.
on. Right, that's today's daf. Loi kuroi. We're going to finish today's daf with a nice agadita. Loi kuroi eno over olav. If you don't tear it and tear out the milk, you're not over. Why? Because this milk is not a deraisa milk. It's not real milk because it never came into the world. It's part of the animal. So if you just, I want to ask you guys, if you just read it now, any over, what does it mean? So you're allowed to do it lechatchila, you allowed to eat it, or you're not allowed to eat it? Okay, so that's how you think. That's what it would seem like. It says. If you did it, but it says if you did it, I know over.
What do you mean?
But it's in the Mishnah. It's not in the Torah. It's a Mishnah. Halev. One other thing, the heart. The heart has a lot of blood in it, right? Koiroi umoitzi is dami. By the way, so let me ask you something. If you take the udder of a cow, Rabbi Isai, if I take the udder of a cow and I eat and I cook it and I eat it with the milk, do I get an isser? Will I have an isser? No? Says anyway. Comes Rashi and says we're not even talking about a cow, we're talking about a chicken. And a chicken has less than a gazais milk. So maybe you're not over. But if I eat the udder of a cow, forget about it, it's chorus.
So whatever your
That's
plan
Rashi.
was,
Ava behemo chayiv chorus. So if you read the Mishnah without Rashi, you would be making a mistake in chorus. Okay? Halev.
No, you're mixing up the two.
Am I?
Yes.
You sure?
The chicken doesn't have an udder.
Chicken doesn't have an udder.
Oh, you're right.
alright, I'm out of
Shkoyach.
here.
You guys should leave. Taki, you're like, Shkoyach Menachem. Hold on. Stop. Oh, 2 people are watching. Hashem Yirach. I'm dead. I was just trying to see if you guys are paying attention. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Nice trick. Of course, a chicken doesn't have udder, Rabbi, so what are you thinking? Wow. Okay, I got you there for a second.
Chicken, Valala.
You didn't drink enough whiskey to shop.
What did I drink?
Chicken doesn't have milk.
Okay, I hope I didn't say it in the 8-minute though.
Someone's going to stop between.
Okay, Eli, you have like 5 minutes.
Belev oif, it says in Rashi. Belev oif. Who's talking about udder here? Shein bedome kizayis av behemo chayev chorus. Right, we're talking about udder, a heart. Thank you.
Presumably, the difference between a chicken and a
Chicken and hearts.
is that the hen is much bigger and therefore more blood. More blood.
Right, of course. Says the Mishnah, Halev korei moitzis dama. You rip open the heart and you get rid of the blood. Like korei and yoyev olav. If you don't rip it up. So, Rabbi, I have a question for you. If you don't rip open the heart and you eat it with the blood, you chayiv or not chayiv?
It depends if it's a chicken or it's
Oh!
It's not a kazais, or it always stays inside the animal.
So this
Always
is not
inside
a
the animal.
parallel, according to Rashi,
It's like the blood
with the
that never comes
udder
out.
of a cow.
Yeah.
that I've got. If you
No,
don't-
right. It's not parallel. We're going to see in a second. Not parallel.
It's like the blood.
Not only that, one might be mutter lechatchila, one is aser. Or lechatchila. Omer Reb Zera Rav. Let's just see. Eno oiv olav v'mutter. Wow, we're running. No, we're not running late. We have the shear. By the way, we have Rabbi Shor's shear at Avi Kamianzi. It's not a shear. It's like a kumzah. It's kind of matzav. 8:30. It's going to be sushi. It's kedai to come. Omer Zera. You see, I make one mistake. He leaves. Omer Zera Rav. Eno oiv olav v'mutter. So now we're going to see this two sheetas in Rav. What happens if you eat it? Are you allowed to lechatchila eat it, or you're not allowed to eat this udder with milk? V'natnan enu oiv olav. But Hillel made the diuk. It says in the Mishnah, "Ein overlov me'aver hu d'le'avar ha'isur ika." You're not over, but you shouldn't do it. Bedinu the isur nami leka. At the end of the day, there's no isur. V'aydi the boy lemisna seif halev koyri moitzis damoy. But it's not parallel to the heart. And by the heart, it says that you cut it open and you take out the blood. Like koroi any overlov the hasam me'aver hu d'le'avar ha'isur ika. By a heart, there is isur. Taninami reisha any overlov. It says the same lashon, but by a udder, it's different than a heart. You're allowed to eat it l'chatchila. I have a proof. It says that you take out the milk, and if you didn't tear it open, you don't get an iser. So it says something different here. It says that there's a way to fix a heart after you cooked it by mistake or on purpose, whatever it was. You can fix it. You can fix a heart by tearing it open afterwards, getting rid of the blood. So, l'chayra, it doesn't talk about what to do with the udder. If you made a mistake with the udder, it doesn't say how to fix it. So maybe it means that I could just go ahead and eat it, no problem, without fixing it. Says the Gemara, no. Maybe there's a way to fix a heart, but there's no way to fix a udder. Maybe it's too late.
Why?
Maybe that's the way it is, that the milk got inside. The milk went out and came back in and ruined it.
Because the part does not absorb the
Oh, a part, yeah. It has smooth basar and it doesn't absorb. Okay, and now we're going to the second lashon in Rav. That it's asur to eat this udder l'chatchila. And now we just go through the same rayas that we said a second ago. It seems from the Mishnah that you're right. You don't get an isser, but you shouldn't do it. We just said it a second ago that it's because of the heart. The heart, there is an isser, so therefore the ratio of the udder says the same lashon. Tashma. Now I have a raya against this lashon. The same raya that we had a second ago. That there's a way to fix it after you cook it. You could fix it after you cook it, but it doesn't say anything about fixing a udder. So you see that the second lashon of Rav is not true. You see that you could l'chatchila go ahead and eat the udder. Maybe only a heart you could fix. And now, finally, Tanya Kalish Nakama, this we don't have a shlug up. It says a very interesting halacha. If you find milk inside a calf, in her intestines, the milk is asur. What is the difference between that milk and milk in the udder? Very pashat. No, what do you say? What's the difference?
Came out of the mother.
Oh, it came out of the udder. It came out into this world. It became milk. So what if it's inside an animal, but it came out of the udder, it came and went into the baby, into the calf? If you cook the udder with its milk, it's mutar. But intestines that have milk, it's asur. What's the difference? When it's konos b'meyav, meaning it came out of the udder, it came into this world, and memela, it's considered milk, and milk is asur, it's basar b'chalav. So what if it's inside the intestines? But the other one not. Let's just finish. You take the udder, you cut it, shesi ve'erev. I think that's what he did. I was spacing out a little bit. You cut it top to bottom, you make like an X, and then you slam it against the wall, and all the milk comes pouring out of it. Now the Gemara says a story where there wasn't a shesi ve'erev, there wasn't any banging on the wall. Rebbe Elazar told the Shamish, Krali v'anoichel. He said, just cut it once. He didn't say anything about cutting twice. He didn't say anything about banging against the wall. You're supposed to cut it. When you roast it, over there it's talking about roasting. When you roast it, you don't have to do shesiver because the roasting removes the milk. And now here comes the famous story that everybody's familiar with. Amrle Yalta Rav Nachman. The famous Yalta, Rav Nachman's wife. I remember her from Masechet Brachos. She once got mad. I forgot the whole story. She got mad at her husband. He didn't send her wine. Somebody was sending the wine. She went and she smashed 400 barrels of wine. So, but she was a Talmid Chachama, and she said, "Michti kol da'asel rachmona sharlon kavasei." Every isser in the Torah, there's something on the other side. What's the word? There's there's a balance. Okay, that's a good one. There might be the counter. A counter. What do you say? Counterpart. Very good. That's the word I was looking for. There's a counterpart. That's mutter. And now she lists 8 things. I don't know if she listed or the Gemara listed. Osalan doma. The Torah said you're not allowed to drink blood from an animal. Sharlan kavda. You're allowed to eat the liver, and the liver is full of blood. Nida, we're not allowed. Nida, dam toyar. There's a concept where sometimes a nida is mutter. Like midiraisa, nida, the night of her chasana, from Besulim, midiraisa, she's mutter to her husband the next day. We're machmer. And a woman, after she gives birth, if it's a zachar and a keva, she has 33 days or 66 days of free, no problem. Any dam is nothing. So you see that nida, there's a heter to nida. Chaylev behema, you're not allowed to eat the chaylev, the fat, some sorts of fat in the behema, like we saw at the thing. So chaylev chaya, the Torah is mated the chaylev chaya. Chazer, everybody wants to know how to eat pork. Moicha de shibuta, the brain of this fish called shibuta. Girusa, I don't have the picture, we had it once before. It's the swan pen, according to the art scroll, not over here, but over there in that sugya, it calls it the swan pen. Lishona de kavra, the tongue of a fish, or maybe a certain fish. Eishes ish, Gurusha b'chaya bala. You're allowed to marry a divorcee who her husband is still alive, similar to Eishes ish. Eishes ach, Yavama. I don't understand this one so much because it's not really you. If you want to taste Eishes ach, there's only one person that could do it. It's like 1 in a million that has a Yavama. Also, whatever. Okay, fine. Not everybody could be Zoichet to Yavama. So it's not really for you. Goya, what? I'm saying, if somebody wants to know what a chazer tastes like, there's one person in Africa, he could taste it, and only because he's a Levi. But what does that have to do with me? Whatever. Yivama. Goya, if you want to, by me it says Goya. Over there it says Kusis. Yeah, most Gemara, by me it says Goya, I don't know why. It says Yifas Toyar. Okay, fine. And we don't have Yifas Toyar either, so my shayla is on this as well. Kus is the censor. My Gemara takes out all censorship.
Maybe it's just saying that people that you don't have these talking in time. Every incident counts upon its mutter. So therefore,
hold on, he wants to finish. He has to run. But I want to taste basa b'chalav. How do I do it? Amalu Rav Nachman Tabachei. So Rav Nachman told his chef right away, Zvikulo kachle, roast up an udder, and the udder has milk in it, and she'll taste. As the Gemara of Anatan Koiroi, we said you have to rip it. That's only for cooking. But he told his shamish, his chef, to roast it. You don't have to cook. Voktani shebishloi. Do you have it in l'chatchila loy? It seems like if it already happened, it says in the brayso, if you cooked it, okay, fine. But don't tell your chef to go make you a other delicacy. Who adin davilu l'chatchila v'ayde the kaboy lemisna seifo kevish shebishlo. The halacha, right, of the milk inside the intestines. If you cook it 100% is also even there's no way, no heter. So over there it says in that brayso the word bishla, but really it means that you're allowed to do it l'chatchila. Have a wonderful day, a nice week. I'll see you at Avi's house.
the name of a cow, if you do cut it, you're allowed.
What?